desirable way for it to be, for you to be in total alignment, that your bones are holding you up, and if you're not using a muscle, it's turned off. So that is the goal. Let your bones hold you up, turn off all of your muscles. Okay? Okay. And you might go up and down however you'd like to. So whatever you need to do. So that's the first thing we're going to do. The second thing, I want you to just lift your elbows up. Just your elbows. Now I want you to make your elbows point towards your heart. That's it. Now let your elbows sink a bit. And so we're going to start here as if you're holding a tree. This is actually called tree stance. And now I want you to feel that the coccyx bone is pointing straight down, meaning flatten your ass. Let the duck butt go. Is that what it's called? Duck butt. No duck. Adjust that pelvis so that that coccyx is pointing down. And as we start this meditation, I want you to lower your hands to your navel if you need to relax the stress on their shoulders, or keep them up at the heart level. Whatever works for you. And I want you to sit down if you're too tired. So, and from here as well, I want you to just have your knees not locked, so that you can bend your knees however you're standing. Feel that his knees not locked. And you can also, as you do that press, you can also activate that inner channel, like it's the horse stance in yoga. Activate that inner channel as if there's a ball between your knees that'll allow you to hold all that. Just lightly activate the fascia. There we go. Your ears over your shoulders. Roll your shoulders back. There you go. And from here, we're going to breathe. Take a few long, slow, deep, powerful breaths. And for this exercise, and again, the reason I like doing this particular meditation with Qigong is it forces you to feel the flow in your physical body, because that is what we'll be doing. We'll be connecting a future potentiality and your highest self with your physical body that is right here, right now, and creating a memory of this future potentiality so that your mind can replay this memory and wire and rewire your brain for that which you desire. So I mentioned that your first step was creating an intention. Now I want you to pick one intention of one future potentiality that you would be so happy if that came to fruition. I'm going to give you just a minute to think of that one future potentiality. Extending up, extending down like a tree, creating more space in the spine. And from here, I want you to bring your awareness to your perineum, to the root chakra, as some people call it. And I want you to notice the space that your perineum takes up in space. Notice the space all around the perineum, in space. Now I want you to imagine that future potentiality. And I want you to imagine the joy and love you would feel if that future potentiality would come into fruition. And I want you to bring that energy up from the perineum, up the back of the spine, up through the cerebellum, and into the center of the brain, through the pineal gland, or the pineal gland. And I want you to feel that love. I want you to amp up the volume on that love that you would feel, allowing the brain to feel that love of this future potentiality. Imagine yourself having that right now, right here, right now. Allow that love and that extreme joy you would feel to wire and rewire your brain for that future potentiality. Breathe it in. Exhale out what no longer serves your highest good. And relax. Totally and completely relax. Bringing your awareness again to the perineum. Notice the perineum in space. Notice the space all around the space, around the perineum, in space. Allow the space between the spaces, around that space, to feel that incredible joy and love if you had that future potentiality right here, right now. And I want you to bring that energy from the perineum all the way up the back of the spine, up the back of the neck, through the cerebellum, and into the pineal. Feel that joy expanding outward from the pineal, wiring and rewiring your brain to feel the joy of this future potentiality right here, right now. Allowing it to carve new pathways of joy and love and happiness in your brain. And relax, totally and completely relaxed. And notice now that space in the center of your body, midway between your navel and the Mingmen point, the exact opposite point of the navel. Notice that little dot, that little bindu in the center of your body. And I want you to lightly press down on that little bindu. And in that bindu, and in that light press from the very center of your body, I want you to notice the space that that little bindu takes up in space. Notice that bindu in space and the space all around that bindu in space. And I want you to bring the strength and the power and joy that you would feel if you felt that future potentiality right here, right now. And I want you to bring that from the bindu all the way up the back of the spine, the back of the neck, through the cerebellum and into the pineal. Allowing the power and strength of that bindu, of that creative force expanding throughout every cell inside your brain, wiring and rewiring the neural pathways to feel right now that you would have that which you so desire. Allow that creativity inside your brain to expand. Allow it to expand past the neural pathways in the brain, all the way expanding out through the whole, every cell in your being. Allowing your body to feel all of the joy and happiness you would feel when those creative juices have created those new neural pathways of that future potentiality. Bringing it and forming a memory of that future potentiality for your brain to play and replay, to wire and rewire your brain, your body, your life, your health, your happiness, your love, your joy. Feeling all of that right here, right now. And relax. Totally and completely relax. returning back to that bindu midway between the navel and the Mingmen point. Notice the space all around the space, around that bindu, in space. Notice that bindu in the space around your whole body, in space. I want you to create that vision of this intention, of this future potentiality. And I want you to amplify that creative aspect of how things can just magically happen. To have that future potentiality just magically appear. And I want you to bring that energy up the back of the spine, to the back of the neck, through the cerebellum, and into the pineal. Allow those creative juices to flow directly from the center of your brain, expanding outward, wiring and rewiring your brain to be able to creatively and magically extend and expand the joy and happiness you would feel if you had that future potentiality right here, right now. I want you to feel that future potentiality right here, right now. Amp up the volume in the center of your brain. Amp up the volume of joy and happiness and creativity, allowing it to flow outward from the very center of your brain to every neural pathway that needs to feel that, needs to wire and rewire your brain, to wire and rewire your body, to wire and rewire your life, to hold that future potentiality as a vision and a memory, to be played and replayed as often as needed, to hold that space for that future potentiality in space, in this space. And on the next exhale, relaxing back down to the bindu point, right in the very center of your body, between the navel and the Mingmen. Totally, completely relaxed, totally at ease, totally safe, totally protected. And now notice the spot in the center of your brain, in the center of your body, where the solar plexus comes in, midway between the front and the back of your body. That deep core of power. Notice that solar plexus in space. Notice the space around the solar plexus in space. And now take that intention and the power of that intention and bring that energy up the back of the spine, the back of the neck, through the cerebellum, and into the pineal. Allow the power of your intention of this future potentiality to expand, expanding outward from the pineal, expanding outward through your whole brain, wiring and rewiring your brain, to feel the joy and the power and the love and the light of that future potentiality. Expanding the space around the space of that future potentiality in your brain to extend and expand, to fill every cell of your being with that power and joy and love and light of that future potentiality. Creating this memory right here, right now, of that future potentiality. And relax. Relaxing back down to the solar plexus. Relaxing your entire body. From the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Totally and completely relaxed. Totally at ease. Totally safe. Totally protected. Standing or sitting tall. Notice that space around your solar plexus in space. Notice the power and the energy of that future potentiality in the space around your solar plexus. Allow that energy and power to move up the back of the spine, up the back of the neck, through the cerebellum and into the center of your brain, into the pineal. Allow that power to wire and rewire your brain to hold that future potentiality as a new memory. Allowing that memory to expand through every cell of your being and beyond. Expanding your you right here, right now. Expanding it to create and fulfill the power throughout all the auras of your body, throughout every layer and level of your body. And relax, totally and completely relax, returning back to the solar plexus. And now notice your heart in space. Notice the space all around your heart in space. Remembering again that future potentiality in your heart space. And I want you to feel the joy and the love that you would feel if you had that future potentiality right here, right now. I want you to amp up that heart space. And as it extends and expands, allow that energy to flow up the back of the spine, up the back of the neck, through the cerebellum, and into the center of your brain, into the pineal. Expand that love and joy you would feel if you had that future potentiality right here, right now. Feel that joy and that love in the space of that future potentiality to wire and rewire your brain to hold that joy and that love in an immensely expanded form. To allow a memory to be created of this expanded love and joy from the highest of selves. To hold its space in the very center of your brain. To wire and rewire your brain to hold joy and love and happiness in its most extended, exalted form. Allow that happiness and love and joy to flow through every cell of your brain, wiring and rewiring, for you to be wired for happiness, for you to be wired for love, for you to be wired for the joy of having that which you desire. Allow that joy to be held and amplified and exalted, allowing your brain to wire and rewire your physical body, to hold that memory of that future potentiality, to allow it to play and replay those extended, exalted joy and happiness. Feel the joy and the happiness right here, right now, of that future potentiality. And on the next exhale, relaxing back down to the heart center, the very center of your body. Noticing your heart center in space. Totally and completely relaxed, totally at ease. Notice the very center of your throat. Notice the center of your throat in space. Notice the space all around that space. Notice how that future potentiality sits in your throat, in space. Notice the joy and happiness you would scream and shout if you had that future potentiality right here, right now. Notice how that happiness can be expressed and expressing your truth that your highest self recognizes in your throat. Allow that expanded truth of that future potentiality to extend up the back of the neck, up through the cerebellum, and into the very center of your brain. Allowing that exalted truth to wire and rewire your brain for that future potentiality in space. Allowing it to feel the joyous connection of your truth, your happiness, your joy, your love of that future potentiality, creating it as a memory to wire and rewire your brain, be played over and over again with that exalted nature of the truth of your highest self, that is right here, right now. The truth of those connections you already have to your highest of selves, to the highest joy of that future potentiality right here, right now. And relaxing back to the center of your throat. Notice now the space around the center your throat in space. I want you to amplify that exalted truth that lives in the center of your throat, of that future potentiality in space, and bring that energy up the back of the spine, the back of the neck, through the cerebellum, and into the center of your brain. I want you to amplify the volume of space in the center of your brain that holds that exalted truth of your connection to your highest self. To your connection to that future potentiality. Allowing that exalted truth of that future potentiality to wire and rewire your brain, to scream out and shout the joy and happiness you would feel if you had that future potentiality right here, right now. Allow that to expand in the brain, to wire and rewire your brain. And relax. Returning back to the center of your throat. Notice now the third eye point in the center of the forehead. Notice now the third eye in space. Notice the space around the third eye in space. Allow that vision of your future potentiality and the joy and happiness and love it would bring you if you had that right here, right now, in this space, in space. Bring that directly into the center of the brain, to the pineal, to extend that vision inside the brain, to wire and rewire your brain, to hold that vision of this future potentiality as a memory. Brighten the colors on your vision of that future potentiality. Amp up the love you would feel if you had that future potentiality right here, right now. Amp up the joy you would feel if you could feel that vision right here, right now. Amplify the love you would feel if you could have that vision right here, right now. Creating this memory of your future potentiality. Allowing your brain to see, feel, and hear this memory in an exalted state of truth, power, love, and creativity. Allow the brain to wire and rewire to fill the needs of this physical body, to hold that memory of your future potentiality. And relaxing back to the third eye. Totally and completely relaxed. Totally at ease. Totally safe. Totally protected. Notice the space around your third eye in space. Bring that calm, coherent vision of your future potentiality from the third eye into the very center of your brain, allowing that future potentiality in space to wire and rewire the space and the memory of this future potentiality through every cell of your brain, allowing your brain and the neural connections to extend through every cell of your physical body, through every cell of your etheric body, through every cell of your spiritual body, through every notion of your mental body, through every notion of your emotional body. Allow that vision of this future potentiality to create waves through all of the bodies. Allow the waves to flow. Allow the waves of love and light to flow. With this future potentiality to right here, right now. And on your next exhale, returning back to the third eye, totally relaxed, totally at ease, totally safe, totally protected. And now notice the space at the crown chakra in space. Notice the space all around the space around your crown chakra in space. I want you to bring your awareness of that future potentiality to the crown of your head. I want you to allow that space to amp up the connection with your highest self, to feel the joy and the love you would feel if you had that future potentiality right here, right now. And allow that energy to flow directly into the center of your brain from your highest of selves, holding that future potentiality as a memory. Allowing your highest of selves from the very center of the universe to wire and rewire your brain for your highest self, for your highest good, for the highest amount of love and joy of this future potentiality in space, in this space, creating a memory of that future potentiality with the added vision of your highest of selves, with the added love of the one that loves you more than you could possibly love yourself in physical form, with the added knowledge of the joy and happiness you could achieve and you would feel if you had that future potentiality right here, right now. Allowing that exalted love to flow through every cell of your brain, wiring and rewiring your brain for your highest of selves, to hold that energy, to hold that space, to hold that ever-expanding love and light, to hold the joy of that future potentiality right here, right now. And on the next exhale, bring your awareness back to the top of your head. Notice the top of your head, your crown chakra yet again, and the space around the top of your head, your crown chakra in space. Notice the infinite spaces between the spaces at the top of your head. Notice those spaces in space where that future potentiality lives, connecting it to your highest of selves, bringing that expanded love, wishing only the best for you and for this future potentiality, for you to feel the love and the joy of being a human. Allow that expanded love and light to flow to the center of your brain, allowing your brain to be wired and rewired with the highest of intentions from your highest of selves, allowing that ever-expanding love to be felt by you as you feel this future potentiality, and creating it as a memory of your highest of highest selves. Wiring and rewiring your ability to accept, receive, love, and enjoy that future potentiality right here, right now. Bring your awareness back to the top of your head. And now bring your awareness to your entire body from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Relaxing with the knowingness of how good that future potentiality can feel as a memory. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes and return back to right here, right now. For those who are doing the stance, I want you to lower your elbows. And we're going to make 3 circles with our elbows at about hip height on a horizontal level playing field. On the third one, we're going to scoop up all the energy, bring it up to the navel. Let all of the energy sink and flow in through the navel. And so it is.